Vikings fans, thank you so much for getting us to 5,000 subscribers here on our Vikings YouTube channel. Round of applause and a big thank you as well. But we're not done. We got to the 4,000 mark. Now we want to get to the 5,000 mark. So if you haven't already, join us for more free Vikings videos pretty much every single day right here at Vikings Now. You're watching Vikings Now by Chat Sports. I am Tom Downey here with the latest on Minnesota, including the report that the Vikings are on the short list, I should say, of potential teams for JC Tretter. Now, that's a report from Esquire North. The Vikings do have Garrett Bradbury at center, and Tretter, I do believe, would be an upgrade over Bradbury. I'm not even trying to body him, but last year, Tretter, I thought, played like a top 5, worst case top 10 center in the NFL. Now, he is aging. There are reports of injury concerns. He wasn't practicing that much last year for the Browns. Despite that, he was really good at football. 1 sack allowed, 1 hit, 8 hurries, a quality PFF run grade as well. Part of what I consider, when healthy, to be the best offensive line in the NFL. Now, of course, this past year, there was not much playing time for other centers, and now Tretter's gone in Cleveland. But Tretter is a good football player. It's the injuries that are a concern. But if he is healthy, I don't think there's any doubt that he would be a better starting option than Garrett Bradbury. Bradbury's been a disappointment so far in his rather young NFL career. Struggles with power, struggles with pass blocking, which is surprising given how I thought solid he was in that role at NC State, but he hasn't been that guy. So for the report to have the Vikings on Tretter's short list, it does make sense. I think I know where the source came from. But first, Tretter does have the injury issues. And I think that coupled in with he is the NFL union player president, that is not something NFL owners typically like to have in their locker room, which I think is stupid because if that guy helps you win football games, I don't care. That would be my number one focus. But again, if Tretter is healthy, if the injury stuff's not that big of a deal, he is an instant upgrade over Garrett Bradbury. Now, I think Tretter's short list, quote unquote, is not actually that short. I think Tretter is uniquely aware of what teams are in the market for a center. I think he is aware that it is now May and he is unsigned. And I know his dad is not shooting down any particular potential destinations, including Minnesota, Miami, Dallas, etc. So I would not read too much into the short list for JC Tretter. I think at this stage, if you wanted to add him to your roster, I don't think it'd be that challenging because we are now in mid-May. He is unsigned, and typically you can't. It's a beggars can't be choosers situation when we reach this level in the off season. So I think there's not much of a short list. I think the Vikings want him. I think go get him. So would you go get him? Be honest with me in the comment section. Y for yes or N for no? Would you guys sign JC Tretter? I'm going to make this question the pinned comment on today's video. So you get that ad break here while you're watching on YouTube. Take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. From the center to the quarterback, is Kirk Cousins underrated? PFF was named the most underrated player on each NFL team. Their pick for Minnesota, well, it was Kirk Cousins, who has been a little bit divisive. We'll use that term there as the Vikings quarterback. His individual play has been good. The results overall haven't been what the Vikings were hoping for. I don't think anyone really thinks Kirk Cousins is a bad QB in a bubble. Like, if you're ranking him, you probably have him inside or just outside the top 10 QBs. It's a question of, is he good enough to lead a franchise to the promised land, which, to be fair, is a very small subset of QBs that are actually able to have long-term sustained playoff success. Here's what PFF argued on Cousins. Quote, he has been a consistent top 10 quarterback over the time in Minnesota and seems to be slowly improving with each passing season. This has tracked, unfortunately for him, with the Vikings falling away from contention as a real threat to win a Super Bowl. So Cousins doesn't get the respect his play deserves. He may never be one of the game's truly elite passers, but he's right at the top of the next tier. And most of the arguments thrown at him don't hold up tremendously well to deep scrutiny. Cousins' numbers are awesome. Outside of a handful of QBs, you can put his numbers up with anybody in the NFL, and you would go blind resume style and go, wow, actually, Kirk? I'm Kirk Cousins. And you don't know you're picking that QB. Accurate, good yards per attempt, great touchdown interception ratio. Sometimes even his own head coach argues he wants Cousins to be a bit more aggressive and allow some more interceptions to result in bigger plays on offense. But Cousins is not bad. So from the haterade perspective, I very much get Cousins being underrated. So what I want you guys to do right now is to rank Kirk Cousins among all NFL QBs. He's not number one. He also ain't 21. He's somewhere in the middle, and it could be closer to number one than he is 21, or at least closer to the middle part of that. So rank Kirk among QBs in the comment section for me right now. Some other underrated Vikings I wanted to give a shout out to here. KJ Osborne, I was very surprised by, breakout player last year in what I think will be a bigger 11 personnel package for Minnesota on offense. That's 3 receiver sets. I think that could result in Osborne getting even more touches and more production and having a nice second breakout year. I'm going to try to speak the Irv Smith one into existence. I was excited for him this past year. Then he gets hurt. He needs the big-time breakout year, but the talent, I believe, is there. I think Brian O'Neill has been a fantastic development piece for Minnesota. Really raw coming out of Pitt, has grown nicely into a very quality starting caliber right tackle. I think Dalvin Tomlinson is consistently undervalued, underrated. He's an awesome football player. And I don't think anyone thinks Danielle Hunter is underrated. I think when healthy, he's a top 5 edge rusher in the NFL. So not that he's underrated, but that he doesn't get the top-end respect that he truly deserves. That was my 5. You can include Kirk on that list too. So I want you guys now to name a Viking who you believe is underrated. Sound off for me in the comments section. While you're down there, by the way, check out our link to Fanatics for the Vikings rookie jerseys, including Lewis Seen, the first-round pick, safety, Georgia. We're rocking number 16. That link is in the comments section and in the description. It's chatsports.com/Vikings jersey. Check it out today, and they've got a ton of other jerseys on there, including Kirk Cousins. Let's talk Ed Ingram now, the second-round pick out of LSU. Bleacher Report has predicted that Ingram will start at right guard, which I think is possible. Ingram played mostly left guard at LSU, however. But he did start some at right guard. The majority of his snaps, though, came on the left side, but he's shown he can do both. And the Vikings have several candidates at the right guard position / left guard, but I am assuming Ezra Cleveland will start again at the left guard spot. 2021, Ingram was better as a pass protector than he was a run blocker, but he should still be a quality player. He's a very good scheme fit for what Minnesota, I believe, is going to try to do under head coach Kevin O'Connell. 2 sacks, 1 hit, 8 hurries. PFF run grade was not great overall. We're going to spend more time here on this brewing battle at right guard. But first, of the 4 options I see right now, and that's leaving out Oli Udoh as well, who I don't think is going to win the job. Maybe I should have done all 5 there. We'll go with the big 4. Ed Ingram, type in EI, CR for Chris Reed, JD for Jesse Davis. I'll include Wyatt Davis since he was a 3rd-round pick, but as I've said before, he might not make this team. WD for Wyatt Davis, and you can write in OU for Oli Udoh if you want as well. 4 5-man battle at right guard. Yeah, this is going to go up until week 1, and I think it's going to be a long competition, and I think the Vikings will have it as a true battle. Now, a year from now, 2 years from now, you want it to be Ed Ingram, right? You want him out there as that option. Maybe Oli Udoh handles some left tackle experiments for you and is your swing tackle since you're not in great shape on that standpoint. But your guard depth is actually awesome. If you had to start Jesse Davis or Reed or Ingram or even Wyatt Davis or Udoh again, that's not the worst outcome in the world. It's not ideal, but this team has invested a lot in the offensive line. first-round pick at left tackle, first-round pick at center, second-round pick at left guard, second-round pick at right guard if it ends up being Ed Ingram, second-round pick at Brian O'Neill, and a big contract for O'Neill too. That's heavy investment in the offensive line, and now the Vikings need better results than what they've gotten in recent years.